Okay, everyone. Today, I got my top three Calder finalists. We're going to discuss them from third to first. You already know my first place, but here are my other two. So let's start with number three. At third for the Calder right now, I got Tim Stützle, who is 18 years old. He plays left wing / center. And he was drafted third overall for the Ottawa Senators in the 2020 NHL entry draft. And so far in 25 games, he has 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points, which is really, really great. He's playing first line minutes, I think, or second line minutes, I should say. He's playing second line minutes. He's playing about 15 minutes a night. And he's been very good for the Ottawa Senators so far this year. I don't think they have any complaints with how he's playing. I have no complaints with how he's playing. He's not super explosive out there. He's not super flashy. But he's a really great player that really can get that job done on that second line for the season. And don't be surprised if he gets moved up to that first line next year. And his season projection for a full 82-game schedule in 79 games, he would have 19 goals, 28 assists for 47 points. So if you took a look at his numbers in the DEL in his draft year, where he had like 8 goals and 30 assists, he's shown a lot more goal scoring this year than he did in his DEL season. And I think that goal scoring, being a guy who can get 30 goals rather than 20 goals, is great. And I think Stützle, with what he's shown this year, has that 30-goal potential this time around. He's not going to be that Nicholas Backstrom type player. He's going to be a Nicholas Backstrom +1, I would say. But yeah, very respectable numbers for Tim Stützle so far. Obviously, I have him third in my Calder voting so far. And I do expect him and Josh Norris to kind of battle for that number 2 or 3 spot. And I could easily put Josh Norris in here, but I think Tim Stützle, being a guy who's 18 years old, 19 years old, coming over from the DEL and, just playing so great in his basically draft +1 year, is very great. Very, very great. So yeah, now let's move on to my second place Calder finalist. And I have Ty Smith. And I don't know if Ty Smith is in a lot of people's top 3. And you may be surprised to not see a guy like Kevin Lankinen or Capo Kakinen right now, but I don't really like to put those goalies in too early. You asked me again in the month when they've both played around 20 to 25 games. And yeah, if they keep putting up those good numbers, then you probably see one of them in here. But right now, I don't have them in there for the reason that they've only played about 15 games each, and I'm not prepared to put those goalies into my top 3 Calder finalists without seeing them play consistently good starting numbers. And I think Kevin Lankinen's starting to fall off a little bit from where I had him in my top 10 goalies in the league right now. But anyways, Ty Smith is 20 years old. He was drafted 17th overall in 2018. And he plays defense. Now, Ty Smith is a great offensive tool. He's been so good offensively at every level he's played at in the WHL. I don't know if he's played AHL hockey, but especially in the WHL, he's been great, over a point per game. And now this year he comes over to play for the New Jersey Devils. And in 22 games played, he has 2 goals, 10 assists for 12 points so far, which are very good numbers. He's playing middle six. He's playing top 4 minutes for the Devils, and I think you could see this guy working his way up to that first line defensive pairing as soon as, right now I could even see. I think Ty Smith is going to be a really, really great offensive piece for the New Jersey Devils in his career, a guy who can definitely reach that 60 to 70 point potential, because so far this year, an 82-game projection, he has in an 82-game schedule, his projection would be 7 goals, 37 assists for 45 points, and getting that out of a rookie defender who's drafted, outside of the lottery, I think that's really great. And Ty Smith, his development has kind of taken a little bit more of a shorter amount of time than I would have expected to reach this type of number I would have expected Ty Smith to be having this type of season at 22 or 23, but he's really elevated that development by a couple of years, and I think that's really great for New Jersey. This is one of their bright spots on their team right now because they don't have a lot of them. They're still, an up-and-coming team. They're young. They do have those good veterans who can stay there for the next 3 or 4 years who can still chip in. And I think New Jersey is going to be a really, really dangerous team in the next 3 or 4 years. Watch out for them. They're going to be very, very deadly. And I have Ty Smith number 2 in my Calder voting because number 1, as you guys should know if you watch my Minnesota video, I have Kirill Kaprizov. And anyone who doesn't have Kirill Kaprizov or like Capo Kakinen or Kevin Lankinen number 1, I think you're not wrong, but I would say that Kirill Kaprizov should be the clear-cut winner. So Kirill Kaprizov is 23 years old, and he plays the wing. He can play left wing, he can play right wing. I have him at the left wing position because he shoots left-handed, but I think he does play that right wing more than not. So kind of like a Nikita Kucherov type player in that sense. And so far in 20 games for the Minnesota Wild, he has not played 20 games. That's a mistake. I think he's played 24 or so games for the Wild, but in like 24 games, he has 7 goals, 13 assists for 20 points, which are really great numbers. And in an 82-game projection, it is 21 goals, 46 assists for 67 points, which are amazing numbers. Maybe not as much as you would think for Kirill Kaprizov to put up, but for a guy who's under 25, coming over to the NHL for his rookie season after putting up great numbers in Europe. I brought up this point in the Minnesota video. The guys who put up really great numbers in the KHL are not going to come over and be scoring superstars right away. More cases than not, they don't even produce in a top 6 role at an NHL level. They're usually a bottom 6, third line kind of scoring option for you. And Kirill Kaprizov, luckily for Minnesota, has been a lot more than that. He has lived up to the hype. But he's like, perfect example is a guy like Vadim Shipachayev. Great KHL scorer, comes over to the NHL and just doesn't really put up the numbers that you would expect. And now he's back over in the KHL and he's scoring at that insane rate again. He led the KHL in points this year, and that just proves to show that just because a guy does amazing over there in the KHL and you expect him to be a great scorer year 1 or at all, it doesn't happen all the time. So I think that Kirill Kaprizov coming over and putting up these numbers is a lot more impressive, mainly because it's his first time in North America. But he's gotten really good on the small ice, and every game I watch of his, every highlight video, I always notice Kirill Kaprizov doing something out there. He's always on those highlights. He's always doing something. He's just nothing bad about him. I can't say a single thing bad about Kirill Kaprizov. But yeah, and I think that's the big separator between a guy like Ty Smith and Tim Stützle to Kirill Kaprizov. Stützle, yes, he can be flashy at times, but Stützle is usually just a guy that's there, and when you notice him when he makes that play and he gets that goal, you're like, okay, Tim Stützle got a good play there. But Kirill Kaprizov, whenever he has the puck, you always notice him, and that's the big difference, and you can't teach that to a player. You cannot teach that kind of creativity to a player. And I think that Kirill Kaprizov can be a top 10 player in this NHL as soon as in the next couple years, and I really hope he does, because Minnesota really needs a guy like Kirill Kaprizov to really help their rebuild. But anyways, these are my top 3 Vezina candidates, or not Vezina, these are my top 3 Calder candidates right now, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. It is a little bit delayed. I tried to record this a few days in a row, but recording conditions weren't very good. But yeah. Anyways, this is Mr. Stamkos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing and leaving a like and comment. I love reading your comments. It's always amazing. And I will see you guys in the next one. But for now, bye.